Hey guys, and welcome back to Late Nights with B&C. I'm Billy.
And I'm Casey.
And tonight, we're doing our first movie night with you guys. Tonight's movie is 1993's Fire in the Sky. First off, wow, what a ride from start to finish. You know what I mean? Like, this movie was just wild.
I like that it was filmed in Oakland, Oregon.
Yeah, see, I think that having, like, the old buildings really helped the movie. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it also helps with it being so close to home.
That's fair, yeah.
Like, we're able to,
Okay, one thing that really bothers me is, it takes place in Arizona.
Yeah.
But Arizona, I don't believe, has that many trees or hills, mountains.
the whole movie is set in Arizona, and everything is covered in hills and pine trees. And if I remember correctly, Arizona is a desert where it frequently reaches
Cacti.
over 100 degrees in temperatures during the summer, where trees would not survive.
Yeah.
And I have friends who live down in Arizona, and they post pictures, and I don't see very many trees.
Maybe we're just missing something.
There must be like an oasis in one spot where it's just
One
all
singular spot.
where it's all mountains and all trees. I must be missing something.
I think we're both missing something,
I guess
clearly.
we are.
But, so that was my first, like, what the heck is going on here? My second one was, so you're in a car with your group of your friends that you've been working with. Well, maybe not all of them are your friends, but whatever.
Your team, at least.
Yeah, your team. And you see something that scares everyone, and what do? You jump out of the fucking truck. You get out and you're like, man, let me go investigate. No. No. That is how people die.
Well, they did think he was dead.
Well, he's lucky he's not.
He could have. He could have died.
He could have croaked. Could have.
I agree with you, though. Let's go into the mountains. Let's do our job as a team of log people.
Log people.
I forgot, though.
Loggers.
I forgot
They
the
were
word.
logging. Hauling some timber.
Log people. Oh, that should be our next video.
Log people.
Secrets about log people.
Secrets of the log.
2020. Anyway, a bunch of loggers, they go up on the mountain. They're doing their work. They're doing their job. The sun goes down. They're like, yeah, that seems about good. Let's head home. And then on the way home, they're like, wow, what a bright... What would you call that,
Yeah,
friend?
One guy's like, I think it's a fire. Okay, if it is a wildfire that's glowing red, yeah,
It's
let's
like-
follow it.
It's like a fire in the sky or something.
Man, I never would have put that together.
They just keep driving, and they
Well,
happen
okay, if you
upon
remember
it.
correctly, the driver was like, dude, if this is a wildfire and we get stuck and have to stay out here all night, I'm blaming you, Terry. What was his name?
I don't remember. Michael?
Mike was the driver.
Travis?
Travis was the idiot that bailed out of the truck.
Travis was the idiot that was like, well, this seems pretty neat. I'm going to go stand under it.
I'm gonna go stand under it and maybe they'll touch me. Yeah.
They did touch him.
Yeah. Okay, so we already know that he is not off to a good start. Okay? You know.
Yeah. Okay, well, not to help. Like, at the beginning of the movie, they set him off with some really dumb business idea. MT Motors.
Yeah.
MT Motors. Hey, buddy, I got a business idea. Let's start this business called MT Motors, where we specialize in motorcycles. Yeah, that's a great idea, Travis.
Travis. Man, I love you. Let's start a business. Now, listen here now. It'll be great. We'll make millions. Like, okay, cool. I feel like that probably could have been left out. But I mean, I guess that also builds up the, like, that they have a good relationship.
Well, the first guy, Mike, didn't really like Travis at all because Travis wanted to date Mike's little sister.
Mike was like, step off my lawn, sonny.
Yeah.
I only like you as a businessman.
Yeah, exactly.
Touching trees.
And
touching wood.
Travis is like, no, we're family, brother. I want to start a business with you.
Little do you know, I'm gonna
make
touch
you
fronts
think
with
I
your
died.
sister. I'm gonna touch fronts with your sister and make the youngins.
Make you an uncle.
Yeah, exactly, right? Okay.
Anyway,
So-
I know that it starts off.
Okay, go ahead.
I know that it starts off with, like, giving the impression that Travis is this free spirit who just wants to, like, go out into the world and do wild and crazy things. Yeah, and, like, be a novel person and, like, change the world.
Yeah.
So I understand why they started it off like that. Like, they wanted him to have that type of characteristic.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know, he would be the type of person to jump out of the truck.
Whole, like, group of people, like, okay, cool. Like, you have a group when you go logging. But that, like, one guy, Dallas, absolutely hated him.
You tried to cut him in the face with a chainsaw.
Yeah. Like, I get why that part of the movie was there, but at the same time, it makes Dallas look super suspicious.
Well, not to mention when you find out later that Dallas has a criminal record.
Yeah, exactly. The movie's just setting you up to be like, well,
not just at Dallas, but the whole thing just felt out of place. Like, everything just felt so scripted.
Yeah.
It was such like a bouncy movie, and by bouncy I mean it was just all over the place.
Yeah,
They're like, oh, let's go up into the woods. Oh, you know what? Let's make Dallas a bad man. Let's give him a chainsaw.
I don't know this man, but
we're not friends, and I'm going to threaten him. I mean, if you live in a small town, everybody knows everybody, and if you don't like someone, it's pretty obvious that you don't like someone.
Yeah. I mean, that's completely fair at the same time, because small towns, word gets out, and I mean, in the movie, they're even like, oh, yeah, they killed a man. They did it. Well, we've known them since they were kids, but they did it.
Travis gets abducted, and then Mike wants to go back and get him, and everyone's like, fuck that guy. We're headed out of here because he died. Let's just leave
he is dead.
Let's just leave a dead man in the forest for the animals to eat. And Mike's like, guys, he's our friend. We gotta go back for our friend. Buddies don't leave buddies behind.
No man left behind, damn
Don't leave your buddy.
I love how nobody stayed in the truck. Like, he made them all get out and then yeet the skeet back up the hill.
Yeah, like, one person could have left. Like, it probably would have been easier to look for a body with more than one person.
Yeah, but all the other guys did not want to go back.
That's fair.
That one guy, though, he made him get out of the truck.
That's true.
The guy sitting in the front seat with the glasses?
Yeah, he could have gone back and helped.
He was just sitting in there staring at him, and he's like, listen here, man.
Get out!
He's like, you stay here with the rest of the men, and stay by the road. You'll be all right. Wow. Like, like, he at least should have brought someone with him. That way he didn't look suspicious of, like, murdering a man. You know what I mean?
Well, he went back, and he said that there wasn't a body there.
Which is fair, because if there was a body there, he really wouldn't have had time to hide it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He wasn't gone for very long. So he went back, he picked up the people.
Just what a bunch of guys that are just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to save him. I don't care about him. But if it was any of them...
Leave!
Right, if it was any of them, I bet they would have been like, please come back for me. Help
exactly,
me.
yeah, exactly. But they get back to town, and they call the police, and the police are like, that's sus. You know, because we live in Arizona in the middle of Oregon.
We live in Arizona, but there's trees.
But the police are like, yeah, that's awfully sus. That's awfully suspicious that you just went up into the mountains and then a guy just magically by what? Your spooky aliens that you just made up?
Like, I love how they don't even, like, okay, the sheriff kind of heard him out and was like, okay, this is weird, I'm calling in the big guns.
Well, I wonder how many times the sheriff has had to, like, deal with something like that. Like, Arizona, that's where Area 51 is, isn't it? In Flagstaff?
I don't think so. I think it's in,
I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Okay. I want to... It's not Utah. It's somewhere
weird. It could be Nevada.
It might be... Maybe? I don't want to be wrong, though. Because, I mean, like, I feel like this is something we should know.
Where is... Well, I don't remember. Where is Area 51?
Where is it? It's...
Nevada.
Nevada, okay.
It's located within the Nevada Test and Training Range.
Okay.
So... Nevada's pretty close to Arizona.
Okay. So what, you think the fucking aliens were like, oh, let's go
Nevada's not close to Arizona.
Yeah.
Nevada and Utah are butted up against each other, and then Arizona's on the other side of Utah. So, I don't know.
You think they're like skipping over towns, seeing what's going on?
What, the...
The aliens. They're like, oh, man.
Well, I do know that if there's obviously activity happening in Nevada, then there's got to be stuff happening all over the desert.
Yeah, I mean, it is flat.
I mean, like, this movie was based off a true story.
Yeah.
So, first of all, based off a true story, where were these men logging in Arizona?
Yeah. Yeah.
Second of all, they mentioned a reservation in the beginning of the movie, and then mentioned nothing else about it.
Yeah. There's an Indian man. He must be from the reservation, and then nothing else.
Yeah, like you see this Native American one time, and then he never shows up for the rest of the movie. Why?
Right?
Why did they include that?
You know what? You know what it is?
What was the point of that?
That Native American man called in the aliens and was like, you take these loggers, they're hurting the trees that are definitely in Arizona.
Yeah.
The trees that are definitely in Arizona, and, things gotta happen. What I hated the most about this movie was his wife.
Oh my god.
She is such a horrible person. Like, if my husband came to me and was like, listen, something weird happened and you're never gonna believe me, I'd be like, tell me all about it. Tell me every freaking detail. And then once he was done, I'd be like, man, that's wild.
You're a freaking liar!
You're lying to me. You killed that man.
You murdered a man in the woods!
Go stay in a hotel away from your kids.
Yeah, like, what the junk?
Like, I'd be like, oh my gosh, like,
I guess
you're clearly shooken up about it.
I guess their marriage wasn't doing great at the beginning of the show, but still, like, as a wife, I'd be pretty freaking concerned, especially if the father of my children was involved in something like that. I wouldn't just be like, oh, you're gonna go sleep at the hotel tonight? Oh, you're sleeping on the couch? Interesting. I thought you didn't want to be around us anymore. What the junk?
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, let me comfort you because you're clearly freaked out. Okay, let me hear your story. Man, that sounds pretty real. Something I couldn't make up on my own. Like, you know what I mean?
She was too good for him, apparently.
Yeah, that's how it always goes. The wife that doesn't believe about the alien, she should have got abducted.
You're right. She should have
Her
got
body
abducted.
should have been, taken.
Implanted,
yes.
She should have had eggs put in her body.
Yeah.
The whole alien versus predator thing, have just a little go right out of her body.
Yep. That's exactly what should have happened. But no, we gotta keep the wife. That's a jerk.
I would have said it too, don't worry. She is a fashionable C word.
A fashionable C word. Like, who doesn't support their husband?
A lot of people have, like, tough marriages and stuff like that.
Well, I get it, but, like...
This is a small town. It's the 90s, or maybe it's the 80s. I'm not exactly sure when it's set. I'm pretty sure it's the 90s.
It's sad, because it's like, if you're gonna marry someone, you gotta support them even when they're like, I saw Alien, I saw Mothman. You gotta be there and be like, okay, yeah, tell me all about it. What'd you see? Oh, sounds whack. But I'm here for you, even though I have no idea what you just witnessed. Maybe it was a giant bird with antlers. I don't know.
I didn't like the investigator either. That guy was shady AF.
The guy with the gray hat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was a jerk and just wanted to pin them for murder.
Shady AF. I feel like that's how law enforcement treats a lot of stuff like that anyway. Like, someone disappears under mysterious circumstances and someone's like, hey, I didn't do anything about it. They're like, yep, he killed him. Case solved. Time to move on.
Even though this whole group has the same exact story, the one singular man killed him.
Yep. Killed him.
Which, they tried pinning it on Dallas, and Dallas was with the group of men the entire time.
Yeah, they tried to pin it on Dallas because he had a previous record.
Yeah, which is sad because, I mean, yeah, he didn't get along with Travis.
He was genuinely spooked. Like, he was genuinely spooked. Like, when Travis got shot by that beam of light,
he was like, get back in the truck!
Dallas was like, what are you doing, man? Get in the truck!
Like, he genuinely, like, cared about him. I think he cared about him in the way that, like, you care for, like, a younger sibling. Like, you don't always get along.
You hate them, but you love them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't always get along, but you still want to make sure they're safe and okay.
Yeah.
But did you also notice that we really didn't see him at the end of the movie?
No. See what I mean? The movie was just all over the freaking place. So then when skip ahead in the movie, 5 days later, when they find Travis at a gas station,
okay, I want to know, where did he get the change to make a phone call at a phone booth? He's completely naked.
That is a good point.
Where did he
Wait, there wasn't a phone booth, though. Remember they said that there's no phone booths out there? He called them from a gas station. The gas station looked closed. Did he break in?
Maybe he was naked though, and there wasn't like okay. So my other so he wouldn't have to pay because it was a collect call.
Oh, that's right.
A collect call from Travis. I can't remember his name. I think he started
Travis
with
something.
yeah, and he was like, "Oh, I'll take that." I'm like, okay. Hello, Travis. And he's like, "Help me." And then and then they went and found him, but. I feel like there's some holes in this story.
There's
like
a lot of holes.
okay, yes, it's Swiss cheese at this point.
Yeah, it's...
But I want to know how he made it to the gas station.
Oh, they probably dropped him off over there.
Bye, have a good day at school, honey. See you later.
This looks about like where we picked him up from. We'll just blip right there. Have a nice time.
Okay, so if you talk about like what happened on the ship, or wherever the crap he was,
I think he was on the ship.
it's an ugly ship.
Yeah,
I hate
well-
to say it, but whatever kind of aliens those were, they need to figure their shit out.
Yeah, well, they weren't exactly the nice kind, so I don't think they'd have the highest tech available. Plus, it doesn't help that people don't really have a good idea of what aliens look like anyway, because, I mean, come on, how many people have actually seen an alien?
And can remember it.
And can remember it exactly. So, how are the producers going to know exactly what those guys look like? They're going to use your...
but you know what? I don't think they look like little wrinkly nutsacks with a lazy eye. Like I would at least expect them to, like, you know, maybe have some... They probably take care of their skin. They probably have smooth skin.
Oh, you know, they looked smooth. Like, they didn't look really porous at all. They did look like a wrinkly nutsack, but, I mean, it did
Okay,
look
what I'm
moisturized
saying
at
is they
least.
probably took care of their skin to where they didn't have wrinkles because their technology is probably beyond ours.
I mean,
they're
they
like-
do fly through space, so it has to
Exactly.
be. But at the same time, the machine and the tools they used, they seem pretty archaic.
Yeah, well, first of all, they had him in that pod.
Yeah, I think it was like an egg pod or like a, you know, like the carnivorous plants that have like the
Yeah.
juices that digest things. I'm pretty sure it was something like that because he did accidentally poke a dead body.
Well, did it taste sweet in that sack?
I don't know, he did put it in his mouth.
Well, the reason I say that is because he didn't have his flashback until he got the maple syrup in his mouth.
I mean, that's a good point.
So, like, every time he eats maple syrup, is he just gonna have a Vietnam flashback?
He said it had been 2 years, and that was the only time that we had seen him have that violent of a flashback.
I guess
so
it is kind of,
that-
like, fresh in your memory,
That
so...
office that he was in, that must have been like a therapy room. So he must have been gone to therapy for like quite a while to get over that incident. Because you don't just recover in 2.5 years from something like that.
Well, yeah, you're probably also always looking over your shoulder, like, are they gonna come get me again?
Well, at the end of the movie, he was acting like everything was just freaking fine.
Yeah, I don't think you'd get over it in 2 years.
Especially with what they did. Like, imagine being in
Okay,
a situation.
I would not be okay if somebody shrink-wrapped me against my own will. Okay? Shrink-wrap me.
Use the crochet hook looking fucking thing and just like ripped open a hole for one eye in my mouth.
Yeah, why wouldn't you at least give him one more eye? He has two.
Maybe they only needed the one eye.
Maybe they can only use one eye. Because in the movie...
He did have bruises on both eyes though.
Exactly. There's a hole in that story. But, like, the
Disappointing.
I know. Well, like, the whole shrink-wrapping thing, like, that would be super uncomfortable. I wouldn't be a happy man.
I probably would have screamed as much as he did. You know, at least my first inclination would have been like, hello?
Why did he lay there so still when they laid, like, the...
He was probably confused. I would have been confused.
I wouldn't have let them cover...
Like, they didn't...
Okay, first of all...
They didn't attack him. They just dragged him across the ship. I mean, my first inclination would have been like, hello? Can I help you with something?
Okay, one more point before we start talking about the shrink wrapping. They took everything but his underwear.
Nobody wants to see Wiener on TV, Lily.
I know that, but I feel like they could have at least, ripped it off and threw it in front of the camera or something.
Maybe they didn't want to see his wiener either.
Maybe. I don't know. But there's just so many holes in the story. His wife's a jerk.
The end of the movie sucked. I mean, it was
Yeah,
just
okay, 2 years later, and he's like...
2.5 years later.
Oh, okay, yeah. 2.5 years later, he goes and finds Mike,
In the
who
woods.
looks like Tim McGraw. I think that's who I said.
No, Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton. Long hair, freaking cut... He looked like he should be a country singer. Living in some shack.
And his voice deepened. And he was just living all on his lonesome in the middle of the woods. Like, that's just asking to be abducted.
Maybe he wanted to be abducted. He's like, man, you should have taken me.
Yeah, but then when he drove all the way back out to the original site where Travis got abducted, and he's like, I don't like being here. Sir, you live in the middle of the woods.
Sir, you probably live pretty damn close to that area.
Yeah, like,
Don't be playing me.
What was you thinking? Why didn't you move into the city or something, like away from the forest? Yeah, my buddy gets abducted in the forest, so I moved to a house in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
Because my wife divorced me and took my kids.
Did
so
they
then I
even
grew-
get divorced?
Yeah, it said it at the end of the movie.
Okay.
So then I grew my hair out and I grew my beard out and I write country songs in my free time in the middle of the woods by myself.
I sing to the birds.
And Travis was completely unfazed. Like, he didn't have any PTSD, no flashbacks. He was just like, oh yeah, I'm happily married.
I feel like
with my 1.5 kids.
I feel like after 2.5 years, you would not be able to go back to that spot and be like, yeah, I got zapped here and then shot up into space.
Yeah,
It was
after
pretty
2
sick.
years, for normal people, it would take at least a decade. Or more.
Yeah, if ever.
Yeah, like people who come back from a freaking war, probably about equal gruesome things that happened to them, they have flashbacks for years.
Yeah.
Like, they can't even deal with fireworks.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't just, oh, I'm a cured man. You know, I got some kids on the way, I'm wearing a trucker hat. I'm doing great.
I got a new job.
But yeah, did he even say what his job was?
No,
Of course not.
because there's plot holes all over the place.
And he even stopped, and like when he stopped, I thought he was going back home to get his motorcycle because he
Yeah.
stopped in front of the billboard that had a motorcycle, and I was
yeah,
like,
maybe he started
oh.
his business. Maybe he started MT Motors. We didn't hear anything about that.
yeah, like maybe.
Like, did he even start his
Okay,
business?
instead of taking poor Mike back to that place, he should have just been like, hey man, offer's still open if you're ready.
Well, not just that, but I mean, like, hey, it's okay that you left me there.
I would have been scared too.
Like, he had to take him all the way back just to tell him, I forgive you. What the
Yeah,
junk?
I feel like that's very
Conceited?
yeah, and I feel like that probably no person in their right mind would be able to go back and just be like, yep, this is where they took me. You know, touched me in my places and like, I want to know, okay, first of all, I want to know why they brought him back. And how they brought him back, and why they fucking threw him
What
down.
do you mean how they brought him back? They probably brought him back the same way they took him.
Okay,
They
fine.
probably just
Fine,
went over
okay,
to
fine.
they got to the gas station, they went, and then he was on the ground, and they left him there. We're like, okay, thanks, like, we don't need you anymore, bye-bye.
Yeah, but what made them decide, you know, this guy...
He probably didn't have anything of use to them.
But if they're just using bodies to feed their young, which is what it looked like, why wouldn't they just
That
stuff
was
him
their
back in?
suits, remember?
Huh?
Their space suits is what was hooked up to them, not the children.
Oh, yeah, okay. But, okay. So, to feed the spacesuits, why would they just shove him back in a pod and be like, well, sucks to suck. We gotta still use your insides.
I don't know.
I wonder if he, like, reacted differently to whatever they were using to make the people sleep.
That's
And,
probably what it was. I mean, if he reacted so poorly to it, they probably would have been like, "This is a dirty specimen. Put it back."
Or, like, this is a risk because he's gonna keep waking up and coming out, and I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, they probably were like, "This is trash. Just dump him somewhere."
Garbage. Find the nearest gas station and leave him.
Yeah,
Man.
and then apparently they never came back.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's only been 2 years. You can't say they never came back.
They never came back, but, you know, it's been 2 years, not my whole life.
I'm disappointed.
The wife should be taken, and that special detective man should be taken.
Yeah, and their bodies should be used as goop.
He totally looked like he was laying in Chinese food. I just want to put that out. Like, the whole, like, noodly, like...
It did look like Chinese food. It looked like the sweet and sour sauce they put on chicken.
I wonder if that's what they used. I'm gonna have to look that up after this. I need to know if he just got the lay in Chinese food for that scene.
Ew. That would be gross, though.
It would kind of smell good, though.
It would smell good, but it would be sticky and gross.
I also love how viciously they ripped off his necklace.
Yeah!
Give me your clothing and your necklace, sir.
Give me your fucking necklace!
Give me your fucking money! I wonder if he ever got to keep his keys, though. His key was
Nope.
like... No?
Nope. The
Maybe
snowflake keychain was gone, and that was the only reference to his nickname Snowflake the entire movie.
That wasn't his nickname.
What was his nickname?
He didn't have one. The town's name was Snowflake.
Well, then why did he have a snowflake on his keychain?
Because
How
it's
come-
from the town!
Well, how come a couple people called him Snowflake? They did at the beginning.
They did?
Yes. Travis Snowflake is what they would call him in the very beginning.
Oh, well,
See? Don't know.
I have questions, and clearly we're not going to get any answers.
Well, I'm never watching that movie again.
I don't know how it had.
I
Like,
give it
four
a
and
2 out of 5
how
stars.
in the world did it have 4.5 stars?
Maybe there was only 4 ratings.
That's fair.
I only give it 2.5.
I mean,
2 out of 5 stars.
It was interesting, and like,
I like that it was shot in Oregon.
yeah, I thought that was super cool, even though they're like, yeah, this is Arizona. But, like, parts of it, I was like, man, cool. This is going to be a good movie. And in other parts, I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
There were so many holes. I can feel a breeze. A breeze of plot holes. That's just how it goes. That's all she wrote. Plot holes.
Plot holes.
Potholes.
Yeah, instead of fire in the sky, it should have been holes in the sky because of how many
Holes in the story.
how many freaking plot holes there were in that movie.
I know. I mean, I think it'd be really cool if they redid the movie and had it where,
Everything looked more realistic and everything was updated.
yeah,
And at least things were sterile.
or there wasn't as many holes. Patch the holes,
Make it Fire in the Sky 2.
or just do like a remake,
Fire in the Sky 2 and Mike gets abducted.
or the wife. Make the wife get abducted.
We
She
don't
never
know where she
returns.
went.
She never returns, and he goes to find her and
No,
finds...
we don't find her because she's that what did I say earlier?
Body goo?
No, the C word. The
Oh, yes, we don't find her.
the
'Cause she's-
fabulous C word is what I
Yep.
said. Fashionable C word.
Yep, the good old C word with a giant C and ends with a T. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. Well, guys, thanks for tagging along on our small tangent about that movie.
It wasn't a small tangent. It was a 28-minute tangent.
That's okay. You know what? Stuff happens, and we just get to talking.
Our advice, watch the movie if you want a really bad movie to talk about. Don't watch it if you are afraid
Or you know
of being
what?
abducted.
Watch it and let us know. Be like, yeah, you know what? I thought it was pretty good. And we'll be like, oh, are you okay? Do you help?
Do you need help?
Anyway, guys, so let us know what you want us to watch or talk about next.
Yeah, if you have any movie recommendations, go ahead and drop those in the comments below. We'd love to watch them for you guys and talk about them in front of you, in front of the world.
In front of the world. Also, any topics you want us to talk about in general, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Leave us a like. Subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Have a good laugh at our expense. Since
Yep.
we're a couple of dumb idiots on the internet just making videos for laughs.
That's my life. Just looking for laughs.
Well, it was nice talking to you guys. Have a good night.
All right, bye.